action sequences in this film are pretty spectacular.
My approach was, let's make it real. Let's not try to do flying people, you know, and wires, and let's try to keep it grounded.
It's a big collaboration between all involved to get something good onto the screen.
Roland Deschain is a protector of the Dark Tower. He comes from the line of Eld, which is a sort of legacy of gunslingers who were put in place to protect the Dark Tower from the Man in Black, from the Crimson King, from the Dark Tower falling.
One of the challenges here is that Roland is a guy who's really good with guns, but he is on a world where nobody else really has guns. So the challenge is that there's only so much you can do with how many people can attack him, and he just shoots them because he's really fast. We had to create some obstacles for him. Either he was, you know, sick and feeling bad, or his arm was hurt, you know, or there was the monster pins him down and he doesn't have his gun. Like, because as soon as he has his gun, you know, he'll just shoot.
I mean, in any movie, the collaboration between the different departments is the key to success. I mean, all the way from the directors and producers down to the smallest people. And what's been great on this one is we've been able to work out some of the sequences, then discussing with the production designer as to what works for us, and then the set kind of gets built around that.
We were trying to make it sort of realistic and not try to do all kinds of, you know, movie stunts. As real as you can be in a film where there's also monsters, right? And Grant was good with that. He sort of had a lot of ideas for how to just keep it grounded.
The collaboration with Nikolai has been, it's been a great journey. So he's wanted input. He's not one of those directors that's like, well, this is my way or the highway. So from the beginning, we've been working through the scenes together. We've got a bit of a creative hub that goes with a couple of the other guys. And we sit and we go through ideas, and then the storyboard guys put it onto board. We then look at a certain number of things. We stunt fizz some of the scenes. Then we all sit back again together, decide what's going to work, what's not. And that's the best way to do it. It's nice to be able to be part of it as opposed to just told what to do. Marnie Village, where Roland is actually injured at this point. There's a fight sequence in pretty much with him and some of the trackers, the tahin. It's kind of like animals in human skins and that. They chase him around, there's a big fire, there's special effects guys set up in this whole village, guys getting killed.
Basically, we were just like walking around in this burning village with Idris with a camera. And he was doing everything. Like, he was doing the whole scene for us, like from start to finish. And we were just there to catch him, you know, like with a handheld camera. It was very down and dirty, almost like I'm used to back home in Denmark, very independent filmmaking.
On action, you're going to jump. Yeah, the second action. Yeah. All right.
Have guys leaping between buildings, across roofs. We've got a bit of sword play, a bit of killing, some wire work. Roland shooting them with his beautiful pistol. So we've got guys taking dead stops. And yeah, that's basically what we're playing with tonight.
And 2, 1, action!
Originally, this attack was to take place in the day, but I actually felt it would be more sort of interesting visually if we did it in the night and there was a fire. That was a very tough shoot, the Mali Village, because all nights, a lot of nights in a row, and you get very tired.
Action!
I always do the same thing on every movie. I always like, yeah, I can't wait to shoot night, it's gonna be fun. And then after one night, you go, whew, okay. One more night, and then one more. But in the end, there's something magical about shooting nights because you sort of go home, it's daybreak, and you've had a long night, and you usually get some really beautiful stuff.
The location that we're in at the moment is in Cape Town, Claremont. It's an old abandoned shopping centre called Vat Muller. They were looking at building the Dixie Pig as a studio set. And then the location guys showed them this, and I mean, it's perfect. It's just plays out so well for what we need. I mean, there's multiple levels that we work on. There's ramps going up to it. There's staircases that we did some stunts in the other day. So yeah, it kind of works as a progression. It's like he starts at the top because he has to get into this building. He can't go through the main entrances. It's heavily fortified. And then he's literally making his way down to the portal, which is in the basement, to go and get Jake.
Working with Nick was great. I mean, he was my lifeline. He made it very easy to approach him and speak about things I wasn't quite understanding or what the intention was there. Very collaborative, you know. He allowed me to sort of bring ideas, even though he knew whether that would work or not in his imagination. He was very sort of collaborative in that sense. And he brought a really fantastic crew, you know. He brought an amazing DP, Rasmus. He made this film look like a moving graphic novel.
Here in Dixie Pig, logistically, that's been like a very big thing. First of all, this huge set, tons of extras, all dressed up like Tahins and vampires and whatever. And then getting all the explosions and all the action beats right with all the gunfiring, and every action beat had its new sort of thing that we had to solve. So it's been, it's been just taking a piece at a time.
There was a lot of teams working at the same time in the Dixie Pig at that point. I think we were up to sometimes 3 teams. Like, I would be shooting the main actors, and then somebody would be one level down shooting some guards with guns and running around. And so there was a lot of sort of chaos those days, but having to sort of conduct 3 teams and at the same time, and having your head in all these different setups every single day, it's a challenge, but you get used to it.
He literally goes on a warpath. This is where we see the real gunslinger in Roland. I mean, he's just firing multiple shots. I mean, he goes through hundreds of rounds, killing people, diving across a chasm here. There's aquarium sections where guys are getting shot at inside aquariums, glass, water going all over the show. But yes, we're utilizing the location to its fullest.
It's again about knowing exactly what's going to happen and what every shot is, while still giving the actors the freedom to just play with it a little bit and come up with ideas and do their own movements.
I mean, everything that happens is the team. It's never just one person, so it's all them. I just sort of stick together, but they're the ones that really do all the hard graft.
Biggest challenge is just don't do too much, I would say. Like, this is a slightly smaller scale film in terms of some of these films that you actually just like, you don't have to keep like creating 20-minute long actions. You can actually be a little more precise and thus also stick very much to the story.